Good morning, everybody, and a very happy new year to you all. We are finally in 2021. Let's close the door on 2020, but let's try and close it with either some sort of positive outlook or something that you have learned from it. And I know everybody is sick and tired of listening to people like me who go on with this positivity and all that kind of thing. But the reason I come at it from that angle is not necessarily because I'm one of these mad big do-gooders or who live with rose tinted coloured glasses. The reason I'm asking you all to do it is actually for your sanity, because I'm the type of person that has always had to try and find something positive no matter what situation that I have been dealt with. And don't get me wrong, when negativity has come my way, yes, I have reacted. I have gotten very annoyed. I've gotten very, very upset. I have lashed out. I have lost the head. But when I have time to reflect on the situation, I have to look for something good in it. Believe it or not, I actually had an absolute freak out last night. I had lit all my candles to welcome in the new year. I had done this fabulous witching spell that I had come across. I had done my prayers for the entire world. I done all that. Then I got told of a situation that's going on at the moment. And when I tell you, I absolutely went on a rant. So anyway, yes. And as you can see from my book so far, we are heading into chapter 7. That I do try and find the positivity. But by God, people, I am not perfect in any shape or form. I am not this mad big do-gooder. I am certainly not somebody who has all the answers. I am literally a simple Wicklow woman just trying to make her way through life. But what positivity can we take out of 2020 considering what we got handed in the last year? Well, I know what I can take out of it, and I'm getting through my book. I wrote a book. I'm videoing it. I may not be publishing it, but that's for an entirely different reason. But technically I am publishing it because I'm still getting it out to all of you. So I completed a book. I completed a full book in 2020. That's fabulous. Like, that's something to be positive about. For those of us that still have our jobs, that's absolutely something to be positive about. For everybody that can still put food on their table, that's something to be positive about. Yes, I am annoying you all by bringing all of the basics into it, but that's what we have. That's everyday life. Putting food on the table, paying your bills, making sure that your family is okay, making sure that the people around you are okay, the ones that are still in your life, that are still traveling this path with you. It is the simple things in life. You're still standing the right way. You're helping somebody. Think of the amount of people that have picked up the phone to you to ask you for help, to ask you for advice. Or maybe it just took them a little bit of time to get there. Maybe they needed time to process, but they still turned to you at the end of the day. They still came to you. That's something to be so positive about. I think 2020 gave us an awful lot of hard learning curves. But you know what? We will learn from them and we will move on. We will battle this. We will get through it. There is no doubt about it. We will get through it. And we will come out the other side. And just as you guys who maybe are still in school, or those of us who have been through school, learned all the different things that there were to learn about the history of this world, we, for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, depending on what way you look at it, depending on who you support at the end of the day, and I'm not getting into politics, but depending on who you support at the end of the day, they are going to be reading about 2020 in years to come in the schools. So That's another way of looking at it as well. We are shaping the world today for the world in years to come. That possibly could be another way of looking at it. But that's enough of that. Now, I'm going on with chapter 7. And it's interesting that this should be the chapter for New Year's Day. And as we go through it, you'll understand. And I'm a huge believer in synchronicity. I really am. And I think you should all well know that now at this stage. I am a huge believer in synchronicity. So it's quite fitting that chapter 7 should be this particular one for New Year's Day. So, what's it called? Chapter 7 of Been There, Done That, Still Not Bought the T-shirt is called Take Yourself on a Date. Yeah, it is. Now, let's get on. Okay, be honest, hands up. Who laughed at the title of this chapter? I want to see a show of hands. Come on. Who laughed at the title of this chapter? Take yourself on a date. Now, ask yourself this all-important question. Why did you laugh? Here's what RuPaul has to say. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love someone else? It's actually true. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? What is stopping you from going on a walk in the fresh air on your own and just enjoying that peace and tranquility for yourself? Walking around an art museum and getting lost in what you think the painter is telling you. Going to the cinema and eating popcorn to yourself. Taking a good book and go to a coffee shop. Okay, fine, before you all scream down, yes, we are in a pandemic, yes, everything is closed down, but please bear in mind, it won't be this forever. So I go back to that one again, taking a good book and go to a coffee shop, or take that good book and go to the forest, if it's within 5 kilometers. Get your hair done and then going for something to eat. Okay, fine, again, yes, everything is closed down, I know this. But still, there will come a day when it's not closed down, and that will be very relevant. Take yourself to the spa, go dancing, cook yourself your favourite foods. So there are a number of ones there that you can do at this moment in time during this pandemic, or whatever else you like to do. Take it from someone who has literally fallen out with themselves on a regular basis and sat down and written letters to herself apologising for being a complete twatbat in the way she has treated herself. Yeah, it's true. My time to myself is when I am in nature. I get lost in a forest mostly. I feel it is my place where I am at my best. I have 2 friends who, bless them, get so worried when I go off to the forest on my own. Now, my dogs do come with me, but for all intents and purposes, I am on my own. Or am I? I love these 2 women to bits, and it is very comforting feeling to know when people genuinely really care about you. But I can't explain to anyone that this time in the forest is my date time with myself. It is my time where I reassure myself that I am okay. It is like the forest understands me and who I am. It does not judge me, nor does it turn me away. It has never gotten upset with me, nor does it fall out with me. It is my happy place. Find your happy place. It does not matter where it is, but make sure you take yourself there at least once a week, but more if you can manage it. Also, there is a corner in my sitting room that I just adore, and it is my favourite place to just sit and just be. I do not need the telly or music on. I just sit in the stillness. And if it is at night, I sit in the candlelight. This is also a date with yourself. Again, I'm not sure who wrote these words, but whoever you are, thank you for them. It's okay. You just forgot who you are. Welcome back. Look at a date with yourself as finding yourself and not losing who you are. Life takes a lot from you and you need to retain yourself and your identity. Or else, when it comes to retiring, you literally will not know what to do with yourself. I often wonder, is that why so many people do not want to retire? Because they only identify with themselves through work. Please do not let this happen to you. Work is important, but your dreams, hopes, wishes, and your self-sanity are important too. I remember years ago being saddened by a story of an MD who told me he would never retire and that he would die at his desk and be carried to his grave from there because his work was all that mattered, and that men lose their identity once they retire. I found myself asking this man to explain, and he told me that there were many older men he looked up to during his career, including his father. But once they retired, they lost their spark and went downhill very rapidly because life held nothing else for them. He told me he did not want to be one of these men. What saddened me the most is everything this man was missing out on, including his own family, his wife, his 2 daughters. That there was another reason I wanted to be a motivational speaker. I want to reach these businessmen and women who are convinced that unless you are immersed in work, nothing else matters. Maybe I'm being naive. Maybe I do not completely understand the mindset, and maybe somebody needs to explain to me. But I certainly know I do not want myself and my husband to reach 65 years of age, which is not old by any stretch of the imagination, and look at each other and say, well, working life is over. It's nice knowing you. Let's wait at the platform for the death train. No, sorry. I want to live my life more like this. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in an attractive and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in sideways, chocolate in one hand, wine in the other, body thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and screaming, woohoo, what a ride. Have a wonderful day. And whoever you are that wrote the above, I thank you most profusely for unleashing these powerful words into the world. Because I remember being about 20 years of age, seeing them for the first time and thinking, this person knows what they are talking about. What one thing are you going to do to start this journey of life that will lead you to that worn out body and shouting the words, woohoo, what a ride. Remember, you are never too old to do anything. Let me introduce you to the inspirational Louise L. Hay. Miss Hay will tell you her life did not begin until she was in her mid-40s. At 55, she ventured into the world of computers. She did. At 60, she had her first garden. At 60, she had her first garden. In her 70s and 80s, she enrolled in art classes and learned to dance. And when she enrolled in her art classes, just before I go any further, she actually enrolled in a 5-year-old's art class. She didn't even go to adult art classes. She actually enrolled in 5-year-old art classes. Very interesting lady. In my retraining life, I had the great pleasure of meeting Miss Antoinette Coleman Kelly. Beautiful, beautiful lady. And if anybody is looking to do any civil ceremonies, she actually marries people as well. She's a beautiful soul. She's one of the nicest women you can meet. Antoinette actually teaches the Louise L. Hay course in County Kildare. Maybe that's where you need to start your new journey. Doesn't matter how old you are either. Seriously. The other thing that you need to also remember, even if you are married or in any sort of relationship, you need to continue dating each other. Me and Richard still date. And we're actually, up until all of this actually happened, the pandemic and stuff like that, we are very, very well known down in Eddie Rockets in Arklow. And we're well known because that's where we actually go on our date night. And we never get a meal to ourselves. We always share. And we were actually asked about it. You come in here on a regular basis. Now we absolutely make sure we do it once a month, but we try to do it every second week as well. Sometimes it's not always feasible, but you know, we definitely make sure we do it once a month. And we were actually asked, like, you know, we said, no, this is date night. This is specifically date night. It's just about the two of you, and therefore, you know, we don't separate our meals. We actually get stuff between us that we can eat between us. Even now, I mean, I am, due to like what's obviously going on with me and my medical conditions at the moment, but there was a stage where we would where sometimes we might get even a burger, and Richard would actually cut the burger into fours, and you know, so we became famous. And when we would come in, the girls go, date night's here. And they told other people about it as well. So anyway, there you go. On with the book. You are right in what you're thinking. I do not have children. No, I couldn't have children. Unfortunately, we weren't blessed to have children. But I do know, for those of you that do have children, there was a relationship there before you had kids. Stop thinking that your relationship is not as important as your kids, because your kids are there because of your relationship. There is a reason you got together, and there is a reason you fell in love and wanted a marriage, and universe permitting, you went on to have kids. Maybe some of you didn't get married, and that's okay, but you still stayed together. And your kids are there because you stayed together, because you love each other. Believe it or not, for all that to continue working and to stay strong and to last the test of time, you do need to continue dating each other. After all, you both are the core of that family unit. Because without the two of you together, your family couldn't be there. Even if you went on and, you know, one relationship broke up and you met somebody else, and you know, it doesn't matter. The two of you that are in that relationship at this moment in time, you are the core family. You are the core part of that family unit. Your children learn from you. Your children grow from you. Go back to dating each other. So I put a challenge to you for 2021. Yeah. For those that are in relationships, take yourself on a date. Take each other on a date. Reintroduce yourself to yourself. Reintroduce yourself to your partner. Remember all the good things about yourself. Remember all the compliments you have received. Remember all the compliments you have paid to your other half. Smile. For those singletons, take yourself on a date. Reintroduce yourself to yourself. Remember all the good things about yourself. Remember all the compliments you have received. Smile. I hope I'm pronouncing this lady's last name right, and it's great to have a name. In the words of Miss Jill Shalvis, smile. It's the second best thing you can do with your lips. Guys, have a great day, and here's to a fabulous 2021.